Bring Madam Jeanette on. All right. Jeanette, can you hear us?
I can. I can hear you loud and clear.
Excellent. Thank you so much for taking the time. I know it's a little after midnight for you. And we were just recognizing all the awardees tonight. And one of the first things that was mentioned was a gentleman named Ed Dwight. And earlier this year, Space for Humanity corrected this major injustice. And I was wondering, can you share a little bit about what that experience was like for you?
Well, I mean, I waited 15 years and it was worth it, but I can only imagine having wait 61 years. So I felt his joy. I am so happy for him. And, it's always beautiful when justice is as beautiful as this. So, congratulations also to all the honorees. And, the story of Ed Dwight is going to go on for history. And we're going to talk about this for a long time.
One of the things you previously quoted is that in this world, you're going to have tribulations, but take heart, I've overcome the world. Now that you've been in space for nearly 150 days, what words do you have to share with the people here who have already broken almost every proverbial glass ceiling?
Yeah, well, in thinking about that question, I think about, to get here, to get to this point, and look back on my life, and, I think about, I lived underwater, I lived in a cave, I've did language immersion in Russia, I've worked for the CIA forward, and one of the things I realized is that all of these things brought me to this point in time right now. And the biggest thing that I realized that throughout my life is that the bigger the struggle and the fight, the more worth it this whole thing has been for me. And I've been very joyful up here because everything in my life brought me to this point. And I know that all the hard work, honest hard work, and the time that I put in has paid off. I didn't have to politic my way to the top, but, I can be proud that I made it to this point with people like the honorees that, like Katherine Johnson, and people like that on their shoulders that I made it here. So, it is, it's going to be another 30 days here. So staying in the moment and staying present and really enjoying all that, has transpired over the 150 days I've been here and enjoying the rest of it. This is just the beginning is what I'm feeling. So this is just the beginning. So who knows what my next adventure will be, what I want to be when I grow up.
Kind of on that note, I think a lot of us here know well and believe in the importance of STEAM and early education, finding your dream early. But there are millions of young professionals in their 20s and 30s that are searching and yearning for meaningful opportunities today. This workforce is ready to join today for the jobs of tomorrow, and what can we do now? Improvise, I guess is...
That's a great question. Well, no, it's a great question because what I think is that, the young people coming up today, they need a lot of mentoring. And even when they don't think, just mentoring and guidance on how to just do, especially given different careers, how do you get through from point A to B? You've got to worry about the technical aspect. You got to worry about the operational aspect. And, there's a little political aspect too, but training them up to be able to speak in public, understand the technologies and use them properly. To me, mentorship is, I think, going to be very important.
Yeah. Well, I know we might be on, we might only have a few minutes, but is there anything else that you wanted to share or get into?
I won't go there because we're running out of time, but, I just wanted to congratulate all the honorees. I was able to hear all of that, and wow. So that'll be it, Sean. Thanks for having me, and thanks for doing this, Sean.
Thank you, Jeanette. Thank you so much for everything you're doing. Thank you for making this possible.
My pleasure, Sean. Anytime, Sean.
Well, again, I'm just honored. This is a dream for me, and I wanted to say thank you again for all of your contributions. Jeanette, to you, your leadership and your unwavering commitment to making space a realm where everyone can see themselves and find inspiration. And to take a quote, but I have to tell you that while many of you have accomplished first, we will not be the last. Our work is not done. This is a life-seeking thing. And our dreams of and in space truly do make Earth a better place, because for the more we point our rockets up, the less we have to point them down. The power is within all of us, and so let's continue to shoot for the stars together. Thank you all. I'm honored to be here.
Great word, Sean.
And Jeanette, oh, she's gone. I'd like to invite Miss Jory Cates up to the stage, and Dr. Ivy. Jory and I met last year in Martha's Vineyard for the first time, and we had an opportunity. Jory is with NASA, and Jory is actually a young producer for NASA. She actually produced one of the movies that was, they had the Black Film Festival going on in Martha's Vineyard last year, and we were invited at the request of Dr. Bernard Harris. And Jory, along with National Geographic, they produced 2 videos. National Geographic produced the space race, and Jory produced the color of space. So I'd like to have Jory step up, and we have another special surprise.
Oh, thank you. Thanks, brother. Okay, this is a surprise. Well, hello, yes. Sorry. Yeah, my name is Jory Cates, and yeah, you say young, but not so much, but I'll take it, absolutely. So I'm the senior producer and director at NASA headquarters, and thank you. And I've been with the agency for about 6 years now. And during that, I have produced and directed a lot of the programs for the agency. Recently, I did the Eclipse. So a lot of good things, but the thing that is my passion is the color of space. And so I produced that, 2 years ago. And so with that has been, honestly, being able to speak to students and then going to different screenings and just seeing their eyes light up. This is a major like story. And so with that, I'm just proud to be a part of it. You know, I'm not an astronaut, but what I do is I still tell stories. And so I want to showcase everyone's story, but being able to work with astronauts has been an amazing achievement, and so thank you for being honest. I've interviewed several of you, I think all of you may be here. So, but anyway, we have a little clip. I don't know if it's ready yet, but whenever it is ready. We have a series at NASA Plus, and so that's our new streaming service. And so we have a couple of episodes, and so this might be one of the promos. And so, yeah, so thank you. And yes, it's the color of space. Thanks.
Thank you very much, Jory. That's a video that will be coming out highlighting all of the African American female astronauts that will be coming out here in the not too distant future, and Jory is the producer of that. So how about another round of applause for Jory? And Dr. Ivy and Mr. Dempsey, you want to come on up? We, during the meal, we passed out a couple of patches. Each one of you, these are some collector's patches made by a gentleman by the name of Mr. Tim Gagnon. For several years, Tim has worked with NASA producing a lot of the patches that each one of the astronauts wore in space. So he has been commissioning and working on patches for us for a number of years for Shades of Blue. And I would like to have Dr. Ivy and Mr. Dempsey come up and tell you a little bit about each one of those patches that each one of you have received. They are collector's patches. And we want you to know they're collector's patches because they are. So, Dr. Ivy.
Oh, she's going to make me go first now. All right. Was that the young gentleman whose name was Sean who made the comment about people with gray hair in here? You know, he's running around with the nice, beautiful black hair from that Afro Sheen blowout kit. Sean, is it past your bedtime, brother? This is a gorgeous patch that Captain Daniels has put together. And if it's not at your table yet, I'm going to describe the one for Ed Dwight. And I'm very proud to take my glasses off so I can read it better. The central element is the shield. And that shield right here is inspired by the shape of the patch of the 412 test wing that the Aerospace Research Pilot School belongs. In the upper left corner, we see the aircraft. It's right there. That aircraft symbol is also from the Test Pilot School, representing his United States Air Force career. In the lower right of it, it's actually lower left, we see the new Shepard spacecraft at its apogee, that's its highest point, when those inside will experience weightlessness. At the top up here, Captain Daniels has placed the USAF wings, but instead of the astronaut pin within the shield, he's drawn a feather, which is inspired by the Blue Origin astronaut pin he will be awarded upon landing. His name is at the top, right across there, and his branch of service and spacecraft designation, right here, are at the bottom. It's just a beautiful piece of work. Karen?
And I am so excited to follow that and to explain the 2024 Astronaut Reunion Patch. How many have your patch? Let me see it. These are collector's patches, so remember where you put it, right? When you take it home. Like the last reunion event in Washington, D.C., the view of the Washington Monument from the Lincoln Memorial is the focus of this design, but that is where the similarities end. The view is at night to allow for the celebratory fireworks to be visible in the reflecting pool in honor of this event. The Shades of Blue logo is above the monument and below the moon. The moon is in the phase it will be on July 27th, and it honors Artemis astronaut Victor Glover. We need a hand clap right there. The 23 white 5-pointed stars honors every African-American astronaut, including the 3 who did not fly, but who still made significant contributions. Another hand clap right there. The flag of Washington, D.C. completes the oval in the center of the patch. The launch of the space shuttle honors the 14 African-American astronauts who flew Crew Dragon into space. The 3 bright stars in the sky on the left pay tribute to Robert Lawrence, Ronald McNair, and Michael Anderson, who gave the last full measure of devotion and service to their country. Another hand clap. The ISS passes over Washington, D.C., honoring Jeanette Epps, who we had the pleasure of just talking to, who finally got her flight and will be in space during this event. Give a round of applause to Captain Willie Daniels, Shades of Blue CEO, who worked with the designer of both of these patches, and we have the honor of taking these home and placing these in a very, very special place. And here's one thing I would say to everyone: do not take this home and stick it someplace. You are an ambassador now. Take these patches. You know what they mean. You know what it stands for as well. We have individuals in this audience who have gone up to space. That's something, guys. Right here, right here. Share this story. There are young people who are waiting to take the place of those who have walked their walks. It's up to us to spread the message. Thank you, Captain Willie Daniels.
Good job. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Ivy, and thank you, Mr. Dempsey. Do we have the video tribute for our fallen heroes?